guys, I am Jen. If you haven't seen me before, I am mostly someone who watches anime and animated films. I'm more into cartoons and things, so not really live action. I'm joined here with Mel. She's actually seen what we're about to do today, which is watching the show Game of Thrones. I have never watched Game of Thrones or read it. So in January, we're going to be doing a reading of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, as it is here. And before we do that, though, we're just going to have a read of the history so I can kind of get accustomed to the world and what sort of happens in there. So I've got these two massive books. My goodness. And is this new to you as well, or do you know some things?
I have read none of it.
Okay, so we're going into this a bit blind. Thankfully, our lovely friends have condensed it down a little bit for us because there are a lot of names, locations, and lore that I do not know of. So this is like completely blind. I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I know the show is really popular. It has a lot of fans. It's like really good. The production quality from what I've like seen of it around is really great. So I am excited to get into it. Shall we?
Do it.
Okay, so we got Targaryen history. So we got 133 to 209 AC. Aegon the Third.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragonbane, and the same bit again. So going through this, MJ is gonna just correct me if I get any names wrong.
I'm sure you do good though. Don't worry.
Let's hope. Winter Fever, 133 AC. When plague swept through Westeros,
Yep, got it.
young Aegon III, only 13 years of age, showed surprising courage and compassion for a king. He visited the sick, sat silently at their bedsides, and comforted them with quiet presence. Survivors spoke of his healing hands. Regency control, same year, 133 AC. However, Aegon III's hand, Unwin Peak of Starpike, at the seat of House Peak in the Reach, undid all his appointments and filled the court with his allies. Aegon later retreated into sullen silence, signing whatever papers were put before him, while others ruled in his name for much of his youth. So now the next one under, so we're looking at Queen Jayhara? Queen Jayhara's death and remarriage. So that's the next one we're going under. So Jayhara, Aegon's first wife, either leapt or was pushed from Maegor's holdfast. Rumors swirled that Peak had a hand in it to free the king for remarriage, ideally to Peak's daughter. However, Aegon chose his second queen at the famous Maiden's Day Ball, selecting Valerion, a 6-year-old child.
Oh,
Different times. His attitude improved and he started attending more small council meetings until Peak essentially belittled him to the point of not attending anymore. Okay, so there's a bit of political conflict there.
Yeah.
Damn, a 6-year-old. Lord Alan? That's a new way of seeing that I haven't seen spelling. I haven't seen yet. Valerion? Alan Valerion.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go, guys. Lord Alan Valerion returned to King's Landing from his great voyage and brought back Aegon's younger brother Viserys. Yes.
Oh my god. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's a good name. Previously suspected to be dead. Peak, not happy with the ransom paid for Viserys, re-signed and was replaced by Lord Thaddeus?
Yeah.
Rowan. Okay. Rowan of the House of Rowan in the Reach. At this time, the Reach emerged as the most stable and least devastated of the great regions, making its wealthy and well-connected lords the natural choice to dominate Aegon III's regency and serve as his hands. Viserys' return lifted Aegon's spirits and gave him a companion. However, he neglected Daenerys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Daenerys,
as well as his friend Gaemon Palehair. Oh,
Pale hair.
I think it's just how it's spelled, pale hair. It's just how it's spelled. Okay, so now we move on after the return of Viserys 2 in 134 AC to Dragon Eggs, 135 AC.
That's interesting.
Viserys II, who had returned a year earlier with his wife Lara Rhaegar, gave birth to Aegon the fourth. Is it fourth or fifth? I can't remember. There's 2 Roman numerals. Fourth, yeah. I think V is 5 and then 6 is V1.
Yeah.
I gotta remember my Roman numerals now. Viserys presented Aegon the Fourth with a dragon egg, but when Aegon the Third learned that his niece Lena Valerion, Valerion's dragon egg hatched into a monstrosity, he ordered all dragon eggs removed from the Red Keep, which led to friction with his brother. As Aegon III spent more time with Daenerys and Gaemon, as a result, Gaemon would lose his life during a dinner after being poisoned. The poison was determined as tears of lice baked in apple tarts. Daenerys was also poisoned, but would survive while Aegon wasn't poisoned, as he never ate sweets. Although Aegon and Viserys made up, Gaemon's death left Aegon inconsolable, and once again he lost interest in the crown. Okay, so now we have the secret siege of Maegor's Holdfast, 135 to 136. Oh, only a year. I thought it would be longer. The fall of House Rhaegar in lies, and the bankruptcy of their bank coincided with the Rhaegars in Westeros.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's like Wisteria, like Wisteria.
I know what you mean.
Being arrested on suspicion of poisoning Gaemon. Thaddeus Rowan was arrested, and Kingsguard Marston Waters was named the new hand of the king. To protect Viserys' wife Lara, Aegon and Viserys barricaded themselves in Maegor's Holdfast for 18 days. On the 12th day, the besiegers brought forth Thaddeus Rowan in chains, with his face so swollen that he was barely unrecognizable. Damn. With a slurred voice, Rowan confessed to plotting with the Rhaegars to poison both King Aegon and Queen Daenerys, to replace them with Prince Viserys and his wife Lara Rhaegar. Aegon declared that Lord Rowan had been tortured by traitors into falsely confessing, and demanded of Sir Marston Waters to seize the Lord Confessor if you love your king. Else I will know that you are as false as he is. According to Archmaster Glidus,
Aegon, 15 at the time, is very into the king in that
moment. Okay, that is the hardest name I have come across right now. It does not look like how it's spelled. I keep referring to thinking it's GLaDOS from Portal 2.
Okay.
Aegon restored Lord Thaddeus Rowan into the office as Hand of the King, but it soon became clear that the torture he had survived had left him unfit to serve as Hand. Subsequently, he was dismissed. At the gathering of the Lords in 136 AC, Lord Torren Manderly was chosen as the new hand. Personal rule from 136 AC. So that's just after we've seen that secret siege. So, his 16th name day. Is that how they're saying birthday? Okay, so that's just just a year after on his 16th birthday. So on his 16th name day, Aegon dismissed his regents and ruled himself. Lord Torren Manderly was greatly affronted by the brusque manner of his dismissal, and according to Archmaster, here he is again, Glidus. Okay. Glidus. This act made Manderly Aegon's enemy. Aegon was regarded as a broken king who ruled over a broken reign. Aegon was melancholic to the end of his days, but found pleasure in almost nothing and locked himself in his room to brood for days on end. It took 10 years until Aegon consummated his marriage, where his wife was 16, but eventually Queen Daenerys Valerion birthed Aegon 5 children. Daeron, born 143 AC, and Baelor, born 144 AC. Dana, born 145 AC, and Rhaena, born 147 AC, and Elena, born 150 AC. Oh gosh, those names, all the siblings sound the same. Yeah, they all sound similar. Following his birth, Prince Daeron was named Prince of Dragonstone by Aegon. Viserys later became his hand, and together they dealt with predators claiming to be Prince Daeron Targaryen.
Targaryen, yeah.
Yep. Brother to the late King Aegon II Targaryen.
Tongue twister, this one.
Is a very... They all sound like they have the gon or a sort of sound after it. Alright. So after this... Okay, we skipped a couple of years to 153 AC. Death of the Last Dragon. So, poor dragons. The last dragon, a female, named Dragonbane, died with rumors that Aegon poisoned her. He later became known as Aegon the Dragonbane, with several eggs left behind. However, Aegon was convinced that dragons could be used against those who sought to oppose him. At the urging of Viserys, Aegon brought 9 mages from Essos to attempt to hatch a clutch of dragon eggs with magic, but this ended in failure. When the last dragon died, House Targaryen's most powerful weapon vanished. As generations passed, dragons became little more than a myth and a song, which is why, by the end of the...
By the time of Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen. Okay, that's the only one I know. I've just lost where I've been reading. In Game of Thrones, so that's the one that comes after, the series that comes after. Many in Westeros had doubted such creatures had ever truly existed, let alone returned. Viserys' son Aegon IV married his sister Princess Naerys Targaryen with Aegon III's blessing. However, from a young age, Aegon IV indulged himself with women and continued to do so after his marriage. He's got concubines. Prince Aemon, the Dragon Knight, their younger brother, quarreled with Aegon at the wedding feast. After defending, it's not a feeding, God, he's being nice to her, defending Naerys' dignity. Aemon later joined the King's Guard, taking his vows at the age of 17 and eventually becoming a Lord Commander. Aegon IV and Naerys' first child, Prince Daeron, remember it from the last page, Daeron II, was born in late 153 AC. But Aegon was warned that a second pregnancy could kill his wife. After giving Aegon an heir, Naerys begged him, "Let us live henceforth as brother and sister." Aegon refused, saying, "That is what we are doing," and insisted she still perform her wifely duties for the rest of her life.
Oh, dear.
No. Alright, and now we get to this bit. Aegon III's death, 157 AC. Aegon died of consumption. Consumption?
Seems so. Consumption of what, though?
Did he die from eating? Is this a King Henry VIII situation or something? Just food? In 157 AC at 36 years of age. His legacy was that of being remembered as old and broken beyond his years. He was not remembered fondly. I should think not after reading all that.
He's only 36 and he was remembered as old?
Yeah, I think in those times you'd be lucky to live to 50.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Okay,
Daeron.
Okay, Daeron the First, the Young Dragon.
Very nice.
157 to 161 AC. Oh, he didn't look like he was long for ruling either. Early rule. Okay. Daeron was crowned King Daeron I in 157 AC at the age of 14. Daeron kept his uncle, Prince Viserys, as hand of the king, as his uncle held the position of Aegon III as well. Viserys did not insist upon a regency for the young king. Unlike his father, Daeron was bold, ambitious, and determined to win glory, as most 14-year-olds usually are. And now we've got the conquest of Dawn?
Yep, Dawn.
Dawn, okay. 157 to 161 AC, so after he's just been crowned. One of King Daeron's ambitions was to bring Dawn into the fold and do what his ancestor the Targaryens were unable to do. Viserys and other councillors objected to the young king's plans, reminding Daeron that Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters had failed twice in trying to conquer Dawn with dragons, and that the Iron Throne now had none. Daeron famously replied, "You have a dragon. He stands before you." King Daeron launched a full invasion of Dawn with the aid of Lord Alan Velaryon? Yep, succeeding in just a year. After several battles, the Prince of Dawn and 2 score Dornish lords bent the knee in submission of the Sun Spear in 158 AC. Yay! Or no, I'm not sure what side I'm on. Daeron became the first Targaryen king to conquer Dorne and unite all the 7 kingdoms for the first time, despite the loss of 10,000 men in taking the peninsula. Daeron wrote The Conquest of Dorne about his achievements but exaggerated the numbers of his foes to make his conquests seem greater. That seems historically accurate to most things. Daeron's cousin and Viserys' son, Aegon IV, was tasked with escorting high-born Dornish hostages to the King's Landing. He later began an affair with Lady Cassella Weiss, one of the hostages, and making her one of the first known mistresses. In 160 AC, Daeron's brother Baelor married his sister, here we go again, Princess Dana when he was 16 and she was 15. Following the submission of the Sunspear, the young dragon leaves Lord Lionel Tyrell to govern Dorne. After Daeron returns to the King's Landing, the Dornish men kill Lionel in an uprising against the Iron Throne. Ooh, I'm just getting flashbacks to medieval Europe with the sibling marriage. Okay. Oh, the young dragon's death. 161 AC. So this is after all that victory, I guess. When Daeron returns to Dorne with a fresh army, he is killed at the age of 18 by Dornish plotters while meeting under a peace banner, and his cousin, Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight, is captured. Daeron is said to have lost 10,000 men conquering Dorne and 50,000 while failing to hold it. When he conquered Dorne without dragons, he likely needed dragons to keep Dorne. Oh yeah, because all the dragons are gone. Oh. Okay. Now we're moving on to, I think, his brother, Baelor. The first, the Blessed. 161 to 171 AC. Accession. Oh, I said it with such force. 161 AC. After Daeron's death, his brother Baelor, I'm going to call him Taylor at one point, takes the throne at age 17. A deeply religious man, Baelor's first act was to pardon the Dornish hostages in the King's Landing and publicly forgive his little brother's killers, despite outcry from his lords and council. Many similar acts of piety?
What is a piety?
So, many similar acts of piety and forgiveness occurred throughout his 10-year reign. When his cousin Princess Nerys lost newborn twins in 161 AC, Baelor fasted for a moon's turn and sent her husband, Prince Aegon IV, on a diplomatic mission to Braavos, widely seen as an excuse to keep Aegon from his wife. Okay, and so after that whole act, we've got Journey to Dawn and the miracles. 162 AC. Seeking to bind up the wounds of his brother's war, Baelor personally chose to return Dornish hostages to Dorne. The king walked the Bone Way barefoot and clad in sackcloth, while the hostages rode horses. During the journey, Baelor came upon the house of Weil? Okay, so a house of Weil, of the Bone Way, where his cousin, Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight of the King's Guard, was imprisoned naked in a cage. Oh, that poor guy. Baelor pleaded for his release, but Lord Weil refused. Offering a prayer and a promise to return, Baelor continues his pilgrimage. I can't say that one fast.
It's okay.
Pilgrimage. Baelor arrived at Sunspear, a journeyman considered the first miracle of his reign. There he forged peace with the Prince of Dawn, the second miracle, agreeing that his young cousin, Prince Daeron II, the only grandson of his uncle in hand, Prince Viserys, would one day marry the prince's daughter, Princess Mara Mattel, when both came of age. At Baelor's request, the Prince of Dawn commanded Lord Weil to free Prince Aemon from his cage. When Baelor returned to Weil's castle, he found that Aemon's torment had worsened as his cage now hung above a pit of vipers. Lord Weil mockingly gave Baelor the key to the cage, refusing to release the prince himself. Damn.
Very cool.
We got torture. and war crimes.
Like that.
I read some pretty interesting stories about that. Aemon begged Balor to flee and seek help, but Balor, trusting in God's protection, stepped into the pit. Religious man. They said he was the blessed one. Singers would later claim that the serpents bowed before him, but the truth is Balor was bitten multiple times. From 6 to 50, according to differing accounts. Despite his agony, he reached the cage and freed Aemon, who then leapt from the cage, pulling Balor with him. Aemon carried the unconscious king for miles until reaching a sept in the mountain village, where they were given a donkey and aid. From there, Aemon brought Balor to Blackhaven, where the House of Donarion?
Yeah.
House Donarion's maester treated him before sending him on to Storm's End. Balor briefly regained consciousness on the road, but only spoke prayers. It took over 6 months, 6 months, before he recovered enough to return to the King's Landing. In his absence, Prince Viserys ruled his hand, upholding Balor's peace with Dawn. Okay, so that whole adventure just happened. And now we've got Return to King's Landing and Radical Reforms. 163 to 165. Timelines are very short, like kind of intricate.
It happens. A lot of things happen in a short period of time, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. The realm rejoiced when Balor returned and resumed his rule. However, Balor sought the High Septon's approval to annul his unconsummated marriage to his sister, Princess Dana. They all have such similar names. Oh my goodness.
God, it's pronounced Dana.
Believing his vows before his kingship were invalid in the eyes of the Seven. Balor then confined his 3 sisters, Dana, Rhaena, and Elena. Oh gosh. They all sound the same. Within the Red Keep, creating what he called the Court of Beauty, later known as the Maiden Vault. Oh god, it's kind of ominous. The Maiden Vault.
It sounds kind of nice though, very...
Maiden's a nice word though. Get in the vault. He claimed that this was to preserve their purity and protect men from lust, though many whispered that Balor feared his own temptations. I mean, it was unconsummated, so no sleeping happened yet. Even his hand, Prince Viserys, protested to no avail. The 11-year-old... Oh gosh, she's 11? Her poor girl. The 11-year-old Elena even cut her hair and sent it to him, begging for freedom, but Balor ignored her pleas. Balor next outlawed prostitution, expelling over 1,000 whores and their children from the King's Landing. So he was Protestant? He also began construction of the Great Sept on Visena's?
Yeah.
Visenya?
Hill, yeah.
Okay, Visena's Hill, claiming the vision came to him in a dream. What would later be known as the Great Sept of Baelor. Okay, we're going to go with...
That was good.
Okay, Baelor would not be completed... okay, we'll start from that bit again. What would later be known as the Great Sept of Baelor's would not be complete until after his death. During this time, Baelor? Baelor.
Good job.
It's probably going to be wrong again the next 5 minutes. Baelor took Septon's vows to ensure he would never remarry, granting the faith that even greater influence over his rule. Oh, so we've dipped right into the next one, which is Charity and Madness. I've heard there's some sort of mad king in this. I don't know if this applies.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. I'm not sure if it's in here as well, but
I've just heard through the grapevine that there's a... all I know is that everyone loves Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys, dragon queen things.
We love her. She's
and
favorite.
Mad king things. That's all the context I have for this. Okay, so Charity and Madness, 166 to 170 AC. The small folk adored Baelor. See, I told you, 5 minutes. That's all it took, 5 minutes.
Not even.
Baelor for his generosity. He emptied the royal treasury to feed the poor, famously providing a loaf of bread to every man and woman in the city for a year. He's Jesus now.
No, he was sweet to feed the people.
He's Jesus. However, his royal decrees worried nobles. He burned thousands of books, replaced messenger ravens with doves. Okay, he's not Jesus, so take it back. And attempted to grant tax exemptions to lords who locked their daughters in chastity belts. Jesus. Guys.
Madness it is.
Yeah. When the High Septon died, Baelor claimed the Seven had released his successor, Pate,
Pate.
Pate.
But it looks like
That's the easiest name so far.
I look like Tate.
Pate. Pate, a humble stonesmason. Pate was illiterate and prayerless, and died of fever within a year. He was rumoured to have been poisoned by Viserys II to spare the realm further embarrassment. Baelor then elevated an 8-year-old street boy to the next High Septon, claiming to have seen the child perform miracles. In 170 AC, Prince Daeron, second cousin of Baelor I, and Princess Myra Martell of Dorne, have their first son, Prince Baelor Breakspear Targaryen. They later live in Dragonstone. There was a lot of names in there. Oh. Later that year, Princess Dana Targaryen gives birth to Daemon Waters, her bastard son by Aegon IV Targaryen, who would later become known as Daemon I Blackfire.
Blackfire, yeah. That's a nice name.
Oh god, there's so many people. One of the great bastards. That's the title. Aegon IV had helped Dana escape confinement on one occasion, and in time, they had sexual relations. Yay. Okay, so, Baelor's finally kicked the bucket. So we got Baelor's death and succession, 171 AC. So, Princess Dana refused to name Daemon's father, who later confirmed to be Aegon IV, distraught. Baelor began a 40-day fast purge to what he called the realm's sins. On the 41st day of his fast, in 171 AC, Baelor collapsed. Most believe Baelor starved himself to death, though some claimed he was poisoned by his uncle and hand Viserys, either to seize power or to save Westeros from Baelor's growing fanaticism. Baelor starving himself was referenced by Tywin Lannister during his conversation with Tommen Baratheon?
Tommen Baratheon.
Tommen Baratheon. After Baelor's death, his sisters were freed from the maiden vault, with Baelor having no heirs. Some small folk supported Princess Dana's claim as the king's eldest surviving child, but the realm refused another ruling queen. Though gentle and devout, Baelor's reign left the realm weak and overly dominated by the faith. Okay, now we got Viserys II, 171 to 172 AC. Accession.
Your favorite word right now.
Accession to the throne. It's a very powerful word. Viserys ascended the throne at age 49. He's the oldest one to rule so far. 49, following the death of his nephew, Baelor I the Blessed. Dana's defiant reputation and her recent birth of a bastard son, Daemon Waters, further weakened her claim. So we've got his reign. So his reign was 171 to 172. That's not very long.
No.
Okay. Viserys only ruled for just over a year, as we've said, but proved capable and reform-minded given his experience as Hand of the King. He reorganized the royal household and its finances. He also established a new royal mint and worked to expand trade across the narrow sea. Viserys' son, Aegon IV, and his sister wife, still opinions about that, Nerys, gave birth to a daughter, Princess Daenerys, though her twin brother was stillborn. Oh. However, Aegon IV would also give birth to a second great bastard, Aegor Rivers, bitter still, by his fifth mistress, Lady Barbara Bracken. Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
There's too many children. Aegon IV's son, Daeron, gives birth to his second son, Aerys Targaryen, born 172 AC. Death. 172 AC. Viserys has died suddenly in 172 AC, reportedly from illness, though some historians suspect he was poisoned by his son, Aegon IV. Remembered without affection by most of Westeros? Westerosi. Oh, that's
all of Westeros, you know? Yeah.
That's a tongue twister. Westerosis. Okay. As he was accused by some of poisoning Baelor.
Yeah,
I got that. I gotta think of Taylor, but put a B in front of it.
Remember ER instead of OR.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it, actually. Baelor. To seize the crown and accomplishing little afterward. However, many acknowledge that his years as Hand of the King had long preserved the stability in the realm. Well, he did some good at least. Okay, so Aegon IV, he's still in the picture. The Unworthy. 172 to 184 AC. The Unworthy, and yet he seems to have ruled the longest out of all of them.
We'll see why though.
Accession and early reign. Alright. Aegon IV became king at age 37 in 172 AC. Initially vigorous, he quickly sank into corruption and indulgence. Okay, that brings Unworthy high. Unworthy! Aegon IV kept Aemon as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, though he resented his brother's popularity. His court became infamous for luxury, lust, and favoritism. Lords gained and lost power by amusing or pleasing him. Began his long line of mistresses and bastards, acknowledging multiple illegitimate children across Westeros. His cruelty toward Nares and his open infidelities became notorious. Well, that leads into the next one. It's scandal, jealousy, and war, which, yep, I can understand reading all that. Would come from it. Around 174 AC, Sir Morgul
Hayswick? Sir Morgul Hayswick. Okay, let's just go with that.
Morgul Hayswick, there we go. Someone will correct me on that, I'm sure. Morgul Hayswick accused Nares of adultery and treason, prompting her brother, Prince Aemon of the Dragon Knight, to defend her honor in trial by combat.
Ooh, exciting.
Aemon slew... Okay, you have to say it from me again, Hans.
Sir Morgul Hayswick.
Thank you, my dear. Alright. Morgul Hayswick.
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Vindicating the queen and earning eternal fame. But also Aegon's jealous hatred. Okay. In the aftermath, rumors spread that Aemon was the true father of Prince Daeron. Alright. I'm thinking like Targaryen, so there's a lot of eons in this. According to Maester Caith's Lives of Four Kings. Aegon himself secretly fueled these rumors to undermine his son's legitimacy. There's a lot of drama going forth in this family.
Very exciting though.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Story goes.
A lot of cat and mouse and a lot of betrayal. The timing was no coincidence. Aegon and his son Prince Daeron II were feuding over the king's plan for an unprovoked invasion of Dorne, which Daeron opposed. Casting doubt on Daeron's birth would have given Aegon reason to disinherit him in favor of his beloved bastard, Daemon Blackfyre. Oh gosh, they all got the same name. Just pick one. Ignoring all counsel, Aegon pressed ahead this campaign. His invasion fleet set sail in 174 AC and he was destroyed by storms. A costly humiliation, I'll say. In the following years, Aegon's spite and vanity deepened. He renamed the disputed hills between houses Bracken and Blackwood as first Barbara's Teats, after Mistress Barbara Bracken, then as Missy's Teats, after Melissa Blackwood, depending on his current favourite. Daeron II gives birth to a third son, Rhaegal Targaryen, born 174 AC. Oh, and here's another name. Bloodraven is born. Brynden Rivers?
Brynden Rivers, yeah.
Brynden Rivers, otherwise known as Bloodraven. Bloodraven's easier, I'll probably remember that. Bloodraven was born in King's Landing as the bastard son of King Aegon IV and his sixth mistress, Lady Melissa Blackwood. Alright, so now we're moving on to Tawny's humiliation and Aemon's valor. 177, 178. This really is in such a short timeline this is happening.
A lot going on in such a short period.
Renaming a hill. I can see why he's now known as the Unworthy. He's a bit crazy. When Aegon IV forbade Aemon from entering a tourney, as he intended to crown his mistress queen of love and beauty, Aemon entered disguised as the King of Tears I, and crowned Queen Nares instead, shaming Aegon before all of King's Landing. Aegon IV's son, Daeron II, gives birth to his fourth and final son, thank God that's the last one for now, Maekar Targaryen?
Maker Targaryen.
Maekar Targaryen, born 177 AC, who would later end up being father to Aegon V the Unlikely. In 178 AC, Aegon IV discovered Sir Terence
Toyne.
Terence Toyne of the King's Guard in bed with his mistress, Lady Bethany Bracken. He had both brutally executed and killed Lord Bracken, her father, out of spite. Oh, good lord. Seeking revenge, the Toyne brothers?
Toyne brothers.
Toyne brothers.
Toyne or Toyne? Toyne.
This Toyne launched an assassination in an attempt on the king. Prince Aemon died protecting Aegon, taking the fatal blows meant for his brother as an act of valor that immortalized him as one of Westeros' greatest knights. Maester Aemon Targaryen in Game of Thrones was notably named after Prince Aemon. Well, yeah, same. I gotta remember which timeline is which Aemon now.
There's so many of them. Oh, it's hard to keep up, honestly.
Just gotta remember which one's the prequel and which one's main series, I guess. So we've got the loss of Nares and deepening cruelty, 179 to 182 AC. So Queen Nares died in childbirth in 179 AC along with her infant child. Oh, poor. She's had a pretty hard life reading this, and sad she went out hard as well. That poor woman. Aegon showed no grief. Oh, well, there we go. Still unworthy. It's a really mean guy. So Aegon showed no grief, instead seizing the chance to defame Aemon's memory, openly suggesting that Prince Daeron was the Dragon Knight's bastard. Oh god, there's so much hopping around. I don't even remember who he belongs to now. Like,
there's so many, isn't it? I can't keep up either.
His slander failed. Okay, that's one good news. Aemon was hailed as a chivalric legend, his name sung alongside the heroes of the Age of Heroes, while Aegon's reputation decayed into infamy, as it should be. As it should be. He doesn't seem nice. Blackfire and the Seeds of Rebellion, 182 AC. Okay, we got Rebellion now.
So we're continuing the saga.
Alright. Aegon knighted Daemon Waters at age 12 and gifted him Blackfire, the Valyrian steel sword of Aegon the Conqueror, the ultimate symbol of royal legitimacy. Okay. This act was seen as a deliberate insult to Prince Daeron and hinted that Aegon might name Daemon as his heir. Aegon betrothed Daemon to
Rohan of
Tyrosh,
Yep.
daughter of Archon.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking it says Aegon.
Aegon?
Is it Aegon in that? I'm going to say Aegon. Archon. Seeking alliance with Tyroshi fleets for another campaign against Dawn. Later, Blackfire lured his claim that Aegon had promised Daemon the right to take multiple wives, mirroring Aegon the Conqueror's example, a claim that would later fuel the Blackfire rebellions. So, going from there, since I guess there's a rebellion coming, we've got Decadence and Decline, so that's 180 to 184 AC. So by early 180s AC, Aegon had grown grotesquely obese. He is King Henry VIII. The historical comparisons is because of my love of history.
Okay, little note.
Aegon had grown grossly obese.
Grotesquely obese.
Grotesquely, I said it the first time, right? His body ulcered and crawling with rot. Too heavy to stand, he was carried through the court on a litter. Ordered by the pyromancers to build me dragons, commanding them to construct wildfire-spewing mechanical beasts, hundreds died and a quarter of the king's wood was burned. Almost surprised. 184 AC, Aegon's cruelty and filth disgusted even his servants. He died later that year, aged 49, bloated and half-rotted, a death so vile that Septons called it divine judgment.
He lasted quite a while though, 49.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. He was the cruelest and he lasted this long.
I know.
My goodness. On his deathbed, Aegon legitimized all his bastards, sowing the seeds of generations for Blackfire rebellions that would plague the realm for the next century. Aegon IV was remembered as Aegon the Unworthy, one of the worst kings in Westerosi history. Quite right, too. By the end of his life, he claimed to have slept with at least 900 women.
Oh my.
Oh, it gets better. The exact number he could not remember. However, out of all those women, Aegon claims to have only ever truly loved 9. Ah, of course, he only truly loved 9.
So many still.
His wife, Nerys Targaryen, is not counted among them. That poor woman just keeps getting shafted, even in death. Honestly,
Poor Vors.
shout out to Nerys. Daeron II, the Good.
Okay, let's see why he's good.
184 to 209 EC. So, accession and restoration. 184, 185 AC. So short, seems short this period. Upon learning of his father Aegon IV's death in 184 AC, Prince Daeron departed Dragonstone for King's Landing and claimed the Iron Throne without delay. Aware of lingering doubts about his parentage, Daeron crowned himself with Aegon IV's own crown to assert his legitimacy. Honestly, I don't remember who he belongs to now.
Oh, it's okay. We keep going.
Have to go back and read. Determined to heal the realm after his father's corruption, Daeron replaced the small council with capable, honest men and began repairing institutions hollowed by Aegon's misrule. It took a full year to reform the City Watch, which had been as corrupted as Aegon's court.
At least he's trying to make things right.
Yeah.
Restoration, yep.
Restoration. Okay, and then we got reconciliation and reform. So that's going from 185 to 187, so that's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Daeron could not reverse his father's legitimization of the Great Bastards, but he treated them with fairness and honor, continuing their royal incomes and extending trust rather than vengeance. That was nice of him. He fulfilled Aegon's unpaid dowry to the Archon. Don't say Aegon. Archon of Tyrosh for Daemon's Blackfire's marriage to Rohan of Tyrosh, and even granted Daemon lands near the Blackwater Rush to build a keep. His just treatment of Daemon earned respect, though many saw danger in allowing a charismatic bastard to grow too powerful. Oh, there's political tension there again. Oh yeah, because I guess he might overthrow the crown. Yeah, okay.
But he's trying to be fair, so let's see how it goes.
Daeron's own marriage to Princess Myra Martell of Dorne was happy and fruitful, symbolizing his commitment to peace. Oh, that's nice. A nice marriage, at least. The Red Keep during his reign was filled with Dornish lords and ladies, giving it a foreign flair that delighted some and alienated others, especially among the Marcher lords and reachmen who still hated Dorne. Is that foreshadowing?
No, but the tension never leaves.
Union with Dorne. 187 to 189 AC. Okay, so I guess they've got an alliance now. So Daeron began negotiations with his good brother, Prince Maron Martell of Dorne, to formally unite the realm. So I'm guessing that's just his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay. After 2 years of diplomacy, an agreement was reached. In 188 AC, Maron married Daeron's sister, Princess Daenerys, sealing the alliance. In 189 AC, the Prince of Dorne swore fealty before the Iron Throne, formally bringing Dorne into the Seven Kingdoms. This was the first true peace between Dorne and the Iron Throne, and remained so going into Game of Thrones. Alrighty. This is where it all started. At the Great Sept of Baelor. Remember, Taylor with a B. Baelor. Daeron and Maron placed a golden wreath before the statue of Baelor the Blessed, declaring, "Baelor, the work is done." To celebrate his bloodless unification, Daeron founded Summerhall, a lightly fortified royal palace in the Dornish marches, symbolizing peace between Dorne and the Iron Throne. However, the special privileges granted to House Martell, including keeping the title prince and collecting taxes with minimal royal oversight, stirred resentment among the other great houses Oh, and that's going into the rebellion. Yes. So the first Blackfire Rebellion. So that's 195 to 196 AC. Oh god, it really isn't that
Just
long
one year.
time. Yeah, and then already another rebellion. Let's go. By 195 AC, rebellion broke out after years of festering disconnect.
Discontent.
Oh, I thought it was disconnect. Well, I'd be pretty discontent as well if I couldn't read it properly. The martial lords and anti-Dornish factions despised Daeron's Dornish ties, that's a tongue twister, and found their champion in Daemon Blackfire, the eldest and most formidable of the great bastards. Daemon's half-brother Aegor Rivers Bittersteel, is that just a nickname for him?
I think so. Like he's known for Bittersteel, like Daemon Blackfire or something. There was another person with a little nickname, but I can't remember who. Never mind. Let's keep going.
I like the nickname. It'd be better if they called him by his nickname. Because I can remember it. Okay, so his half-brother Aegor Rivers Bittersteel urged him to act, exploiting the old rumors of Daeron's illegitimacy to rally support. Rally support. Rally. The war split the realm. The Black Dragon of Daemon against the Red Dragon of Daeron. Oh my god, their names are so similar. Battles raged across the Riverlands, Reach Vale, and the Westerlands. Okay, so Daeron's loyalist forces were bolstered by another great bastard, Bryden Rivers. I think I remember him from the last time. Otherwise known as Bloodraven. Yay, Bloodraven's back. I just like his name.
This is like a word.
Bryden remained loyal to his true-born half-brother, King Daeron II, instead of joining his bastard-born half-brother, Daemon. The family history here is intense. And very confusing. Bryden commanded his private guards, a group of longbowmen called the Raven's Teeth. The war ended in 196 AC at the Battle of Redgrass Field, where Daemon Blackfire and his two eldest sons, Aegon, again, and Aemon, I guess again, were slain by the Raven's Teeth. The arrows are said to be driven by Bryden's sorcery, and people later named Bryden a kinslayer. He killed his own family. Daemon's death led the rebels to rout. But some were railed by Aegor Rivers in a mad charge. The resulting duel between rival half-brothers left Bryden blinded in one eye and Aegor retreating. Bittersteel, I love this name. Bittersteel.
The name.
Yeah, the nickname.
Yeah.
Bittersteel escaped across the narrow sea with Daemon's surviving sons, vowing vengeance. The Blackfire pretenders would plague the realm for 5 generations. Daeron II's son, Baelor, would be named Hand of the King in 196 AC. They're just reusing the same names now. Okay, so we've got his later reign and legacy after all that rebellion. So it's 197 to 208 AC. So after the rebellion, Daeron confiscated the lands and hostages from rebel lords, but ruled with measured mercy, restoring peace to a battled kingdom. The rest of his reign was largely peaceful and prosperous, marked by learning, tolerance, and stable governance. Okay, so that's nice. Going back to peace. His first son, Baelor Breakspear, served Alibi as Hand, providing brave, fair, and beloved, as many believed he would surpass his father as king. Baelor and Maker? Is it Maker? Maker?
Yeah.
Became renowned fighters. So now we've got, from that sort of legacy of peace, we've got his death and succession in 209 AC. Okay. So we've just gone over his later reign and legacy, but we're just going to stop there because apparently we're going into spoiler territory now. Yeah, so I think that harpers back into this book here that I have not read yet. So this is all spoiling what's, I guess, going to come into here. So next time we're going to be starting on this and reading it through. Like I've said at the start, I have no idea what the plot or any of this is, so I'm just going in blind. So far, I've been very invested in this history. It's very interesting. It's confusing,
Very.
but it's interesting. I like seeing how all the different rules are going.
On the family dynamics.
Yeah,
Yes.
and whose son is whose son. That's been
I can't
fun.
remember.
We'll get there eventually. But the law is quite interesting. I like hearing about how, I guess, the rulers, how they're all, I guess, different in their own way, despite having a confusing family line. So yeah, I look forward to that. And thank you so much for listening to us read. Can't wait for the next one. So guys, we are working on a book. It's a project we're really proud of. It's known as the Queen Games. As you can see, it's going to be a little bit bigger than Tokyo Ghoul. It's going to be more, I guess, comic standard rather than like the manga is. It's a little bit smaller. So basically, we're still working on a cover and getting it together, but 9 women, 1 crown, which is just a little giveaway to the plot. And if you want to support us, just please click the link below. It's a choose your own adventure sort of style. And we're just really, really proud of it. So if you are interested, please help us out with that. Thank you.